insurance company, an Erie insurance agency in Penn Hills. But I'm not here to talk to you about insurance. We're not going to talk about rates. We're not going to do anything like that. What we're going to do, if you would, please, we're going to have a little social media study, and you guys are going to be my test group. If you would, please take out your... that was easy. Hello? There we go. If you would, please take out your phones, get into your text messaging board, and stay there for a second. I'll explain. Does everybody know what the 5-second rule is? What is it? Go ahead.
When you drop something on the floor, it's a 5-second rule.
That's exactly what the 5-second rule is. That's right. I want to share with you what I found out technology-wise, what can happen, what happens in 5 seconds. In 5 seconds, 300 pics are put on Instagram. 1,250 iTunes are downloaded. 23,000 tweets are made. And unbelievably, 203,000 posts will be made to Facebook in 5 seconds. Unbelievable. The average American earns 1/100th of a penny in 5 seconds. And Bill Gates earns $1,200. It's good to be Bill Gates. Okay, you have your phones all ready?
Yeah.
All right, so here's what I need. Like I said, this is a test. So, very important rules. Please play by them. It doesn't help if you don't. We'll begin when I say begin. All right? I'm going to share something with you guys today. Today is actually my birthday. Thank you. 21, yeah. You get a prize. Today is actually my birthday. So what I would like is all my new 150 BFFs, I would like you to text me the happy birthday song. However, this is not a race. Do not start until I say begin. No cheaters. What's that? I'm sorry? No, we can't do that. So what I want, I'm sorry? Don't worry about it. Just get in your text messaging board. I'll give that to you in a second. So everybody there? Okay. So when I say begin, you'll begin and stop when I say stop. Simple, right? Okay. Begin.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, I stop.
I just got happy.
I got it.
Stop. That was 5 seconds. In 5 seconds, if you were in your car traveling 50 miles an hour, you have now run the length of a football. The caution tape that was laid out that starts at the corner of this room and leads through your school and out the door represents 100 yards. Look at your phones. How far did you get?
I got it. Happy birthday.
Okay? Is it worth it? My study here was to show you guys what happens in 5 seconds. There we go. What happens in 5 seconds. I want to show you a video which will show you what can happen in less than 5 seconds.
My name is Grant Hendricks. I'm a trooper with the Missouri State Highway Patrol. I'm at the site of Mariah West's accident. Mariah's vehicle traveled across this median and ended in striking the bridge that you can see behind me.
When I got to the scene, her face was disfigured from sliding down the roadway. It's funny, the first thing I noticed about her was her shoes. Lying in the roadway in a large pool of blood, I noticed her shoes, and I thought, this is a young girl. That's the first thing I thought when I saw this. And at that point is when I noticed her cap and gown was still in her car. She was going to graduate the next day. It was just a really horrific scene. All because of a senseless text message. It's just sad. Sorry, it's just sad.
Ashley would text hundreds of messages every day. That was the way we kept in touch. We would definitely text more than we talked.
Mariah was a multitasker extraordinaire.
She could text better than anyone I know. She could be having one conversation with me, completely focused,
While having a text conversation with somebody else.
We'd be at school, at home, movies, bowling, driving.
not even looking at her phone.
It didn't matter where we were constantly texting. This is my sister. She was looking at my message that I had just sent her. When she looked up, she had clipped the median on the left-hand side of the road. Her truck flipped, and as it was flipping, she was actually ejected through the driver's side door, and she landed in the ditch about 300 feet from her truck. People will tell you over and over again, it's not your fault. But knowing that you were the person that she was talking to when she was killed. Just knowing, having a highway patrol officer write in a report that a text message sent at 12:05 is the reason that she is dead is not something that will ever go away. If I could talk to her one last time, I would just say, I'm sorry. This is her cell phone that she used in the accident. 4 little letters. That's what killed her.
People don't realize it could just take 3 seconds. I was going to the movies and the car just went directly into a tree and it was a direct collision. I was the passenger. I collided with the tree on my right temple and I was declared dead on the scene 3 times. I used to be able to drive. I used to be able to go for walks. I used to be able to run around town by myself. I used to have a job. I was normal. And all this, I cannot do anymore because they had the text. This is the text message that changed my life forever.
The day before her graduation, my daughter drove to go meet a boy, and she never made it. Today, she would have been 19 years old, exactly.
Mariah never wanted a minute to go by that she wasn't doing something. She wanted to do everything all at one time with friends and family and just having a good time. That's what she loved.
Friends would tell me from school that, you know, the best part of the day at school was Mariah coming down the hall because she'd stop to give everyone a hug.
Okay, guys,
in honor of Mariah. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mariah.
She had met a guy who played baseball, and one evening she just spontaneously got in her car and said, "Hey, I'm gonna come watch his game." He was texting her to tell her directions of where she needed to go.
And I guess she just looked away for too long. Where are you at, you know? Like that was it.
One of her friends had no idea that she had been in an accident, so he kept texting. We ended up having to send him a text back to say, please stop. She's in critical condition in the hospital, and we don't know if she'll even make it.
She always worked her magic, you know, and still to this day, without her being here, she's so much still a part of our lives every day.
She was our sunshine. She really was. She was.
It's a simple text message. Where are you at? 3 simple words.
She paid the ultimate price for her actions. I've had to do this more than once. Mariah is not the only victim that I've dealt with. And it never gets any easier. And it won't get any easier. What is worth losing your life over? That text message?
Pretty incredible, pretty powerful stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring somebody who took time out of their incredibly busy schedule to be here with us today. She deserves not only your utmost attention, but a great warm welcome. Officer, Trooper, Robin Mongo.
You guys hear me without the mic? I got a big mouth. I won't say anything. I'm Trooper Mongo. Can we kill that so I'm not being blinded by? No, your overhead projector. I'm Trooper Mongo with the State Police. I've been a trooper for 20 years, but my most important role is a mother of a 16-year-old son and a 14-year-old daughter. My 16-year-old is currently learning how to drive. I am terrified of teaching him how to drive. I am teaching him. He needs to learn how to drive. But I am fearful because I've been that trooper that had to knock on that door at 3 o'clock in the morning and tell a mom and dad that your child wasn't coming home. So let me draw a picture for you. It's working in Uniontown, pretty young on the job. Couple of things you don't want to do. Number one thing is you never want to make a death notification. And when you get the call to make that notification, you have to go with someone else. We typically ride by ourselves, except for on a midnight shift. We tossed the coin to see who was going to be the person to break the news. Obviously, I got the wrong end of the coin. And they don't teach you how to tell someone that your loved one is dead. There's no easy way to do it. And it's the longest drive, and you wish that it was longer getting to that person's house, because it's the one thing you don't want to do. 16-year-old girl, backseat passenger. She wasn't even driving. No alcohol was involved, just horseplay, speeding. It does happen. She was the only person killed in that crash. The only person killed in that crash. So we get to the house, me and another trooper standing there, totally dark, porch light is on. We knock on the door. The gentleman opens the door. It's about 3 o'clock in the morning. It was safe to assume it was probably her dad. And in the distance, all I could see was like, I'm looking at this TV screen, and everything's in black and white. And I see this lady standing in the background in the purest, whitest robe that I've ever seen. And I just focused on her robe, and I'm like, what do I say? What do I say? How do I say it? This has to be the mom. Because she walked forward, and I remember her backing up. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. No, no, no. And she starts falling to her knees. She knew. She's a mom. She knew. Her child wasn't standing beside us. When you get this big lump in your throat, it's almost like when you get caught in a lie, a really bad lie, and you know you messed up. And I ripped her life away from her. That night, that morning at 3 o'clock, I basically told her, your future is over. You'll never scream at your daughter in the morning to get up and get ready for school. You won't help her look for a new dress, buy a pair of shoes. You won't scream at her for not doing dishes. You won't go on vacation with her. She won't graduate from high school. You won't help her pick a college. You won't help her get ready for a prom. You won't help her pick a wedding dress. Everything that a parent dreams of for their child. I was taking that away. I felt personally responsible. And thinking about it and seeing the video, it never goes away. If you're a human being, these things do affect you. They affect me. That's why I'm afraid of my child driving. Because I've been to the scene of a crash where young kids have been in a car and they didn't make it. When you die, people, it's not pretty. And I'm not here to tell you that it is. I'm not here to sugarcoat it. I'm here to tell you like it is. Your body lays there, however twisted it might be, until the coroner gets there, until we take pictures. Yes, we'll put a blanket up or some type of something to keep people from looking at you and videotaping you as they pass by in their car. But you don't die pretty. How many of you have lost someone in a crash? A few of you. So you know what I'm talking about. I graduated from Gateway High School in 1987. I lost my best friend, Tracy Jackson, in a crash on her way to Cedar Point after our freshman year in college. I was in boot camp with the Army, Fort Jackson, South Carolina. I was pretty excited about getting mail once a week, mail call. Got a letter from home. I was pretty excited. We're out in the field. I'm opening it up. I start reading it. Newspaper clipping falls out. I had to learn that my best friend was killed in a crash. I couldn't even go to a funeral. Didn't get it. It affects you. It stays with you. There are things you won't forget. But understand, you have control. You hear people say that young people are bad drivers. You're not bad drivers. I can show you some bad drivers. And they're a lot older than you. You're inexperienced drivers. You don't have the experience that a good driver should have. You're not born to drive. You're taught to drive. And if you have someone who doesn't know how to teach you and they're a bad driver, what are you going to be taught? Bad habits. Okay? So right now, you're in control of your own destiny, but you're in control, look around, of everyone else's destiny in here if you're driving. Because not only are you driving for yourself, but you're driving for everybody around you. That's why you don't want to be texting and driving. That's why you don't want to be distracted while you're driving. You don't want to be driving under the influence of not just alcohol, but drugs or anything else. Because now you're in control of a deadly weapon. A car can kill you. And if you don't believe me, we can go outside, I can rev up my engine, and I can run right into you. It's going to kill you. It's going to hurt you. It would be no different than me taking my weapon out right now and aimlessly pointing it around. You have to be responsible. You have to be responsible when you're operating that motor vehicle. What's the number one killer of teens? Does anyone know? Crashes. Number one killer. 70, I think it's 7,000. No, it's more than 7,000. It's the number one killer nationwide. Okay? We have some laws in place now for teen drivers. You can't have any more than one unrelated person in the vehicle with you because of distractions. We have found that when you have someone in the vehicle, more than one unrelated person in the vehicle with you, when you're first learning to drive, you increase your chances by 50% of being involved in a crash. And for every additional person, you increase your chances. Yes, ma'am?
Is it illegal for like two teens to drive?
It depends on at what point you are in your driving. If you are a regular licensed driver, after the first 6 months, you can have more than one unrelated person in the vehicle. It's just so you are focused on driving and you're not focused on other people in the car. Because what tends to happen, been there, done it, us passengers, I remember in high school, us passengers used to make the driver do things that she probably shouldn't have done. And it was almost like a dare. And you dare people to do things. Now, as a passenger, you should be responsible and not have your friend do things they shouldn't do. I was in West Mifflin High School last Friday. Kid walked up to me, and I knew him. I'm running youth camp for the state police. And he came up and was like, "Hey, remember me, Trooper Mongo?" And I'm like, "Yeah, how you doing?" Well, the security guard came over, and she said, "Did he tell you his story?" I'm like, "I know this kid. What's his story?" And he was like, "Oh, don't tell her." Well, here he was car surfing, and he almost lost his leg. I mean, he showed me the scars and bruising on his leg. And I'm like, "What? You smoking? What? Why would you get on top of a car and allow somebody to drive at any rate of speed and think you can hold on and not get hurt?" You said you would do that. Oh, never do that. No. But people do it. You can go on YouTube and see people car surfing. We had kids who were car surfing on the parkway about 5 years ago. And they would videotape themselves. Don't dare try it. Because you will get caught. And if you don't get caught, you want to get jacked up. Okay? To fall off of a car on any pavement is going to hurt. But to fall off of a car and then get hit by another car, you're crazy. And why is it fair for that car who's minding their own business? Why is it fair for you to make a dumb decision and allow them to be the ones to suffer? Because that's what usually happens. The people like you who are minding your own business are the ones who end up suffering because of some dumb decision that the other operator decided to do. Not to mention they're probably not insured, so now you're out of money. You don't know who's going to pay for the issues you're having with your car. You're out of work because you can't go to work because you're hurt. Just so many things. It's a domino effect, and you have to understand that. So this is not about scaring you into doing anything. I'm just here to give you information to help you make a better decision. That's all this is about, people. That's all this is about. Giving you knowledge, giving you information to make a better decision. Because you know that you are now in charge of a vehicle that can kill. How many of you are already driving? How many of you pay for your own insurance? Okay, quite a few. How many of you have your own vehicle? All right. Now you would be really mad if someone ran into your car and messed it up, right? I would be. I mean, if it's my car and I paid for it and I pay insurance and it's my way to get from A to B, I would be pretty upset if someone who's not paying attention, who's distracted, runs into my vehicle and causes damage to my vehicle, not to mention any type of injuries I might have to suffer. Just remember that when you're driving, there are other people that feel the same way. You also got to remember, you got to drive for other people. People are distracted. I've seen people brushing their teeth. I've seen people shaving, yes, while they're driving. Brushing their teeth, shaving, doing their nails, putting on makeup, reading the newspaper, obviously texting, and some things I can't talk about today. Actually, I pulled the guy out of his car at gunpoint on Parkway East because he was so dazed, he didn't know what he was doing. But he was happy. He wasn't happy when I pulled him out of the car at gunpoint, but that's what happens when you don't listen to verbal commands. You got to remember there are people, and do me a favor, when you leave today, whether you drove here or you're on a bus, just pay attention to the people, especially in the school bus. You guys see a whole bunch of stuff being up real high. Just look and see what you see people doing in their vehicles. You will be amazed. You would be amazed at what people are doing in their vehicles. I mean, you got women who are driving, and I don't know, maybe you haven't seen stories. Some of the older people here have heard stories of women who are breastfeeding their babies while they're driving down the road. Seriously. Okay? Now, I'm like you, wow. Does that even make any kind of sense? Not at all. But people don't have common sense. Some people don't have common sense. But do me a favor, when you leave, just look in the vehicles beside you. And just look to see what they're doing. Just look. Because they're not paying you any attention. They don't even realize you're looking at them. Because they're so engaged in whatever they're doing inside of their vehicle. You would be amazed at what's going on. Does anyone have any questions? I'm very open. This is an opportunity for you to ask questions that you might want to ask, but you never want to ask a question when you're on the side of the road getting a speeding ticket. If you want to ask a question, this is the time to ask. Yes?
Is it illegal to put makeup on and drive? No, seriously.
Okay, ladies, let me answer this question. There is nothing in the vehicle code that clearly states it is illegal to put makeup on when you're driving, but wait, I'm not done. There's something that's called distracted driving. Okay, careless driving. If you're driving to the point that I feel I have probable cause to pull you over, and you're a careless driver, and I can clearly show that you are a careless driver, and you become a careless driver when you're putting on makeup, what are you looking at when you're putting on makeup?
Your mirror.
Are you looking at the road?
No.
Are you looking at that kid that runs out in front of you that you just hit? No. You're still looking in the mirror trying to put your mascara on. So, it's common sense. There are some laws we shouldn't have to make because it's common sense. That's a distraction. And yes, you can be cited not for putting the makeup on, but because you're a distracted driver, which would be a careless driving citation. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
How about people riding in the back of the pickup? You ever pull someone over?
Well, you know, that law has gone back and forth. It used to be that you could ride in the back of a pickup truck under a certain miles per hour. To be honest with you, because I don't work in Uniontown or Punxsutawney anymore, I don't see it that often, so I would actually have to look in the vehicle code. But you can't have anyone under a certain age in an open bed pickup truck. I want to say it's 16. Under 16. I think anyone under the age of 16 in an open bed pickup truck. They cannot ride on back. Wait, this is a very good question.
If an officer pulled you up on the road and he says he had consent to search you, you told him no, does he still have the right to search you?
Nope. He said if a police officer pulls you over and they ask for consent to search your vehicle, can you say no? Yes, you can say no. He wanted to know, can they still search your vehicle? No, they cannot. The only way they can still search your vehicle is if they place you into custody, they get a search warrant, and then they can search your vehicle. But they better have some good probable cause to do that.
So what if they pull you over saying, I smell marijuana from your vehicle?
Obviously, time question.
Well, they would have to get a search warrant unless you give them consent. I pulled over, we had 3 guys in Wilkinsburg the other day. I walked up to the car and I smelled weed. I was like, you been smoking? I smell weed. They were like, I don't smell no weed. I'm like, come on, I've been doing this for 20 years. I know what weed smell like. I mean, I know what weed smell like. I said, well, it must have been your clothes. But for some people, it can't be in your clothes. Because if you're a weed head, it's in your clothes, it's in your car, everything you do. We found 3 little roaches. 3 little roaches. What am I going to do with them? Really? By the time you get downtown, I'm still, you ain't going to jail for no 3 little roaches. I ain't taking you to jail for no 3 little roaches. I got a lot more that I can do about that. Now, it's still wrong, regardless, because guess what? I can find more probable cause to jam you up. You got to understand there's something that's called probable cause. You need to educate yourself. PC is what we call it. I got to have it to pull you over. Okay? Now, I can't give you what was right and what was wrong in your traffic stop because I am assuming it's something that happened to you personally. I can't tell you what was right and what was wrong because I wasn't there. But I'm just telling you, you need to educate yourself, people. I'm here to tell you like it is. Okay, yeah, I'm a cop. This is my life. This is what I do. But I do it for one reason and one reason only. It's because I want to be a part of the solution and not a part of the problem. I did it because I want to help people. You don't pay me enough to get jacked up. Okay? I wear a bulletproof vest for a reason. All right? Now I want to protect myself so I can protect you. All right? I took an oath to protect and serve the people of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I don't do it because of the money they make me. Believe me, they don't make me enough to catch a bullet. They really don't. I make good money, but I don't make enough to catch a bullet and allow my 2 kids to be an orphan. I don't wake up saying, yes, I'm a state trooper. I'm going to arrest somebody today. That's not what I do. I'm here today to give you information to help you make better decisions. Now, what you do with that information is left up to you. There's a right and there's a wrong. You're all old enough to know it. And I tell people like this, when I pull people over, if I arrest someone, you did wrong. I don't get paid extra because I pull over so many people or write so many tickets. I don't. So when I pull you over for a reason. I tell you what that reason is. And if you want to argue with me, fine. You're making it worse for yourself. Because there's a right place and a wrong place and a right time and a wrong time for everything. You can argue with me all day in court, but you don't want to argue with me on the street. Okay? Just to keep that in the back of your thinking cap. Okay? I'm not done. What are the 3 things you must have with you when you get pulled over? So we all know that. Let's say it out loud so everyone can hear it, so no one can say, I didn't know.
License, registration, proof of insurance.
License, not an ID card from the state of Pennsylvania, because we do know the difference. Registration. That's the thing that lets you know that your car is legal, if you don't know. And proof of insurance. If you don't have it, go see Mr. Johnson. Your vehicle needs to be insured in the state of Pennsylvania. If you don't have insurance, guess what I can do? Tow your vehicle. Don't get mad at me. I can tow your vehicle. You don't have insurance? Now you know. I can't let you drive. You know why? Because if you hit somebody and they get hurt, that's coming back on me. Trooper Mongo, I see you pulled her over and she wasn't insured and you didn't tow her vehicle and she went down the road and killed someone. Are you going to now pay me? You going to now provide me with health benefits? Probably not. So I got a job I have to do. Yes, ma'am.
Can I look up your license? Yes. Can you look up your license if you don't?
Oh, I got a computer in my car. I can look up everything. I can look up your driver's license. I can look up your registration. You all know if you get an underage drinking, and you don't have a driver's license, you now have a driver's license number assigned to you. So even if you're not a driver of a motor vehicle, when you get an underage drinking, there will be an OLN, a number that will be assigned to you. Okay, as if you had a driver's license. Because as soon as you get your driver's license, you're going to be suspended for 6 months. Underage drinking. Also know, you get an underage drinking and some other alcohol-related offenses that you are found guilty of when you go to become certified in certain professions, which are some of the professions that you guys are training for right now. The state can deny you certification. If you did not know that. So you gotta understand. You gotta put on your big boy and big girl pants and start realizing that for every decision you make, there's a domino effect. Things are gonna happen. You're involved in a crash, insurance going up. You're involved in a crash, you might lose your license. You're involved in a crash, you might go to jail, depending on what kind of crash it is. It's a domino effect. You lose your license, who's going to drive you to work? Your mama. And guess what? Your mom's going to be mad. Because now she got to drive you to work. Who's going to fix your car when it gets jacked up? Your mama. So, did mom make that decision? No, you did. So think about what you do before you do it. Now, you had a question. You probably don't remember it now.
Okay, wait. Let's get one more in the back. Way in the back.
Yes, sir.
What happened?
If you were asked to show identification, you're supposed to have identification on you all the time. If you don't, well, it depends on the circumstances. Why are they asking you for ID? Well, yeah. You recall you're a police officer?
They're breaking the law as well.
You want to try that?
I don't know.
I'm just saying. You know what you can do? Instead of trying to pull somebody over, which you don't have the capability of doing that, nothing against you, you just haven't had the training. Guess what? That police department has a telephone number. Guess what? There is a supervisor there. Guess what? If you don't like the results you're getting there, who is the person you can call to make the ultimate complaint to? And it's not Obama. Who's the ultimate law enforcement officer in the county? Does anyone know? No.
The chief.
The district attorney. If you have an issue that is that important to you and you feel like you're not getting the results, the district attorney. Does anyone know his name? Stephen Zappala. You can call his office. He is the ultimate police officer in the county. If you have to do what you're calling a citizen arrest. So, that's all I have.
Thank you. I think we've proven the point. We've proven mathematically how fast, how far a vehicle can go. We've seen it on a video. Robin's told you firsthand. If you take anything out of this, please understand It's just not worth it. Let the texting, the distracted driving alone. It's just not worth it. For everybody who's going to the prom and graduation, congratulations, and most importantly, be safe. Thank you.